Let me start with a question. What if the world we live in is merely an elaborate play, orchestrated by puppet masters, hidden behind an iron curtain of wealth and influence? Today, my friends, we're pulling back that curtain. Welcome to another episode of The Rich, Famous, and Powerful. Let's look beyond the veil. The phrase New World Order has been whispered in dark corners, written on currency symbols, and echoed in political speeches over the decades. But what does it actually mean? And why are so many people obsessed with it? Let's start with the obvious. Control. The concept of the New World Order, or NWO, suggests a single global governing authority. Conspiracy theorists believe that centralized power would allow a small elite group to pull the strings on politics, military operations, and financial markets worldwide. But how, you ask? It starts with consolidation. By ensuring resources like oil, food, and water are controlled by large corporations and governments, the elite make populations ever dependent. Overregulation and globalization shrink the diversity of local economies. A homogeneous world economy is easier to control. But here's the real kicker. These ideologies are not new. They trace back to centuries-old dynasties, like the Rothschilds. Ah yes, the Rothschilds. That name murmured ominously in countless videos and forums online, as if uttering it can summon some otherworldly force. Who are the Rothschilds, and how did they come to embody the idea of all-encompassing power? It begins in 18th century Frankfurt, where Patriarch Meyer Amschel Rothschild established a banking dynasty. 5 sons were dispatched across Europe, to London, Vienna, Paris, Naples, and Frankfurt, to build a sprawling financial empire. It's almost Shakespearean, isn't it? Like chess pieces laid across a board. Their strategy: lending to governments during times of war and reaping the spoils afterward. They understood that controlling a nation's finances meant controlling its destiny. And let's not forget their motto: who controls the issuance of money controls the government. Now you may wonder, why does this matter centuries later? Because their influence allegedly lives on, though invisibly. Skeptics claim that today's central banks, including the Federal Reserve, trace their operational blueprint back to Rothschild methods. Think about it. Governments borrow money from central banks at interest. Who really benefits from this recurring debt cycle? Let's transition from money to modern culture. Hollywood. Surely this must be free from the grasp of global elites, right? Wrong. Hollywood is often described as a machine, a megaphone for propaganda hiding in plain sight. But how does this connect with elites and secret societies? Some conspiracy theorists believe in the existence of powerful cabals within the entertainment industry. Many point to symbolism in movies, award shows, and even music videos as evidence. You've probably seen it yourself. The infamous all-seeing eye appears in major production designs. Is this art imitating life, or are we witnessing hidden messages? Theories tie back to secret societies with alleged Hollywood connections. Names like the Illuminati are immediately recognizable, though whether they still exist is up for debate. Some point to record executives, producers, and directors as gatekeepers, who determine what is greenlit and seen by the masses. This, they argue, allows specific narratives to reach global consciousness, while others are discredited. And again, follow the money. Hollywood studios gross billions of dollars yearly. Where that capital funnels afterward is seldom transparent. Another question arises: what do these narratives achieve? Some suggest a world distracted by sensational celebrity scandals and blockbusters is a world too preoccupied to grasp the bigger picture. Think of bread and circuses, a concept borrowed from ancient Rome. Keep the people entertained and fed so they don't question their reality too much. But let's level up our exploration of secret societies. The Skull and Bones Society is one of the most infamous. It resides at Yale University and has counted U.S. presidents, Supreme Court justices, and influential businessmen among its members. This isn't mere college fraternity antics. This is about harnessing influence among America's elite institutions. Why does a fraternity with such a seemingly silly name attract so much attention? Because members go on to hold the reins of military, business, and governmental power. The phrase "powerful people knowing other powerful people" takes on a refined meaning here. Connections made in secret societies like Skull and Bones can translate directly into policies that shape the world. More so, the opacity surrounding the group's rituals, rumored initiations in candlelit halls and cryptically carved skulls, is the stuff of legends. The broader idea: if you can control education and governance simultaneously, you essentially mold the future society's leaders. Books, curriculums, and even educational standards are shaped in ways that reinforce the existing power structure. Now let's circle back to modern examples. What's one thing all these elements, banking systems, Hollywood cabals, Skull and Bones, and the NWO share? It's that quiet ability to assimilate power while disguising it as something mundane or benign. Let's talk about philanthropy for a moment. Phrases like "giving back to the community" evoke warm fuzzies, but billionaires investing in global challenges like climate change, healthcare reform, or education overhaul also gain immense soft power. This is not to discredit philanthropy outright. After all, these funds do provide relief globally. But critics worry it's a guise to secure influence in sectors typically governed by public discourse rather than private interests. Consider foundations that donate millions to schools while controlling how those schools define curricula. Or think about aid efforts tied to loans channeled through organizations like the IMF. Debtor nations often find themselves tethered to financial or policy obligations in exchange. Those skeptical of these entities urge us to follow the money. For every donation or charitable endowment, a set of strings is quietly being tied. Strings that often lead back to corridors of power we rarely, if ever, walk. But perhaps the most important question to ask is why so many people believe these theories. Maybe it's because the pieces almost fit too perfectly. With every world event that seems too coincidental or conveniently beneficial to certain leaders, Our primal instinct for pattern recognition takes notice. The core fear: people don't want to feel like mere pawns in a game they don't understand. Ironically, conspiracy theories thrive on such incompleteness. The lack of definitive proof fuels possibilities. The man behind the curtain may remain unseen, but that shadow looming large on society can be felt. Let's acknowledge, though, that not everyone subscribes to these ideas. Healthy skepticism should always parse claims from concrete facts. Just because a tale is fascinating doesn't make it true. Still, we're left pondering. Who are we entrusting with our futures? Are we misplacing trust in cultural icons, institutions, or systems that sacrifice individual freedoms for the greater good? Few questions strike deeper. So where do we go from here? Start paying attention closely. Learn not just what is being said in headlines and speeches, but how those narratives circulate. Ask who wins every time legislation shifts drastically or an algorithm changes online. Be unafraid to ask where your bank's policies originate from, or even how your favorite movie might subtly alter the way you view the world. Remember, staying informed is not about being paranoid. It's about being prepared. Be cautious of those who discourage curiosity under the guise of authority. Empower yourself to know more, question more, and demand accountability where it's systemic. That, friends, is the ultimate act of resistance. Until next time, this has been another deep dive into the forces that shape our modern reality. Stay vigilant, stay curious,